I know I pretty much say this every other day, but today we really do have the biggest spoilers so far in the Shadowlands. Literally, the ending of Shadowlands and the Jailer was revealed, together with a few other bits of information in regards to the possibility of a new Lich King being created. While we knew this before a few weeks ago, there is even more information regarding this. The context is unclear, we still don't know the exact details, but we know for certain that the Jailer is defeated in potentially the lamest culmination in all of Warcraft history. So obviously spoilers ahead, but what is this new info and what exactly is going on? Check out Gamivo, this video is sponsored, where you can get almost any game, DLC, Shadowlands, and 2-month game time at discounted prices. Use code DORON for an even larger discount by clicking the link in the description. First off, I'm really sorry for giving you the bits and pieces throughout these videos, which makes it seem like the videos repeat themselves, but really, that's just the way the PTR works, the way it is datamined, so every other day we may get some big nugget. However, when combined with the previous hints and other things that happened, we actually get a pretty good picture on what is going on. So in this video, let's get straight to the point. Yes guys, the Jailer is defeated. We actually did manage to take him down. I know all of you were anticipating this defeat so much. There is some dialogue between Primus and Bolvar where they're talking about what happens after, and that confirms that he will be gone. I feel like this is the only expansion where the majority of the player base was actually looking forward to us being defeated, to the Jailer actually undoing reality and creating some type of cosmic changes, yet it looks like the most predictable and lamest version of the ending possible happened. We managed to get rid of the Jailer in barely 2 patches. Since the Jailer was first introduced, he was painted as the most important character in the entire Warcraft universe. Blizzard is literally trying to create the image of this Shadowlands ordeal being the ultimate ending of the saga that started way back in Warcraft 3, and how all of this is connected, as in they actually planned this guy all along and didn't literally just come up with this entire thing like 25 minutes ago. Essentially, Jailer was the cliffhanger villain, the guy that is so mysterious that we had no idea what is actually going on, and even at this point the picture is kind of clear, but we still don't know all the details. However, unfortunately, all things are hinting that there aren't actually going to be any big details or any significant ones that will give depth to his character, or at least a lot more nuance than he already has. Recent Dungeon Journal datamined information gives us 2 descriptions, one from the actual Jailer encounter and one from the fallen oracle known as Dosenia. The Jailer encounter says that he is a cosmic being who has never known defeat. That I already covered previously, that is the most nonsensical bit really, but the Oracle Journal actually gives us his true motives and what he is actually planning and what he is actually doing. Long story short, the dude wants to create an eternity of torment. Yep, you heard all that, the eternity of torment. He manipulated everyone, outsmarted Sargeras and his mother and killed Jaden and all these people, and that is because he evil bad guy and he want to create torment. Did I mention previously that this guy is actually not a good guy, he's evil and he wants to torment us for all eternity. We know that in order to accomplish that goal, he attacks Azeroth, specifically the World Soul, attempting to destroy it, which proves to us that Azeroth is like the engine of everything and that there is a connection between the soul of our world and Zereth Mortis and the Sepulchre. Plenty of Azerite datamined assets as well as encounter spells reveal this information. Well, guess what? Turns out we more than likely save Azeroth and we actually defeat the Jailer. His death animation was datamined, which may not mean much, but we know for a fact that he is actually brought down. The exact context is uncertain how the entire events unfold, but here is a bit of information from the Primus and the Bolvar conversation that happens after his defeat. The Jailer, he who tormented so many, who long ago set in motion the plague of undeath on our world, has finally been destroyed. Yeah, you heard that right, he has finally been defeated. You know, the dude that we just learned about. I know they connected him to all these ancient events, but the way they did it is just so bare bones. Yeah, you guys can probably realize that throughout these videos that I made recently that I'm pretty salty about this entire ordeal because I've been following the story since forever, really. But seriously, so many of these things are just so nonsensical to me and just seem so bland. Yeah, we know the Jailer is the bad guy, but isn't like the biggest writing mistake you can do is just show show don't tell. I literally feel like this entire storyline can be summed up in one sentence. You know, the Lich King, the Plague of Undead, the Fall of Lordaeron, all that bad stuff that happened. By the way, this dude was behind it all, and now we finally defeated him. We haven't seen him anywhere, he has barely done anything, and now he's gone. We had one minor patch, 9.1, and 9.2 is already done with. Honestly, just feels like a filler ending to a filler expansion with a filler ultimate villain. But do not complain too much, we have even further datamined spoilers. If you remember previously, I've talked about the Lich King more than likely being created. Well, previously we had a cinematic called Reforging the Helm, but just as I was making this video, the cinematic itself was released, and we see what happens. It is unclear whether it is finished, but it is almost done. The Primus takes the Helm of Domination and reforges it into a not so impressive looking helm and says, "Behold, the crown of wills, that which sought to bind us will be made anew, imbued with the strength of those who defied domination." Now, currently, we just don't really know the context. What is crazy is that we have Sylvanas with yet another model here, as well as Anduin and Freed in the cinematic. Whether these are placeholders, we don't really know at this point. However, the actual Helm of Domination is turned into this golden crown type thing, which I really hope actually plays some role, as in this being the new Lich King, and not just a legendary or an equipable item, but the way it kind of approaches us, it does seem like we're gonna equip it. They essentially did a 180 on the fabled headpiece of the Lich King, changing the name and the appearance. Honestly, crown sounds much better than helm, and of wills is much better than of domination. So more than likely the Lich King is created after the jailer is defeated, but whether he or she will be called the Lich King, what the role and the purpose will be, at the moment we really just can't tell. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is if this really is the helm of the Lich King, shouldn't this be like a fully fledged cinematic, like even a CGI one, and not an in-game one akin to forging a legendary? I feel like this is maybe the most important moment in almost all of Warcraft history, if it really is in regards to the Lich King. I've talked about this in a different video, but many things are hinting that something will probably happen with Sylvanas during this expansion, with the two main theories saying that she either becomes the Avatar of Azeroth or the actual Lich Queen, and I gotta say, with the way the story is progressing, it does seem very likely. Initially, this was just a super outlandish speculation, but at this point, it makes sense with the way things are going. For example, all of you have seen the new Prisoner Sylvanas model. It was literally in the 9.2 preview. However, another model of hers was datamined, and that one is encrypted and will more than likely be revealed when the patch is out and the story actually progresses, maybe when we actually defeat the jailer. Now, people have been saying that this will just be the Ranger General model, maybe to play a part in some scenes as she recollects her memories, as Uther literally becomes her therapist to get her soul back in order. However, I honestly doubt they would encrypt that and we wouldn't be able to access it. We already know about her being a Ranger General and that she will remember her memories. More than likely, this model is a huge spoiler for the ending of the expansion. Imagine if they just allowed us to datamine a Lich Queen model, that would literally completely spoil everything. While I was also making this video, the new cinematics were released, as well as yet another Sylvanas model. Uther really did turn into her therapist, and she really did get a new model that is a mix between a Ranger General and a Banshee Queen. However, it still isn't confirmed whether this is the encrypted model I mentioned, or whether this is a third one. More than likely that this is yet another model that we are yet to see 9.2 once the patch is out. Ultimately, with how much effort they're putting into Sylvanas, it is almost obvious that there is going to be some sort of a convoluted redemption. Not an obvious one, but kind of masked with shades of nuance. Thank you for watching. Check out how Sylvanas become the Avatar of Azeroth by clicking on the screen, and check out Doronsmovies Academy for videos on real-world history. See you next time.